This is WCM's Park Update, a weekly show covering the outdoor hospitality industry, hosted by Ben Quiggle and Mike Gast. During each episode, you'll hear from special guests and campground experts on topics that will help your park flourish. WCM's Park Update is a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine.
Hi, I'm Ben Quiggle, and welcome to another episode of WCM's Park Update. And of course, my co-host Mike Gast is here, former Vice President of Communications with Campgrounds of America. And we're going to be talking a lot about Campgrounds of America on this episode because we're going to be talking about their upcoming international convention in Orlando, Florida in November. And as you can tell behind me, people who went to the glamping show probably recognize that from the glamping show, which I just came back from in early October. It was a great conference, and Humphrey from KOA is going to be telling us about how great their conference is going to be. So welcome, Kama.
Hi, Ben. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be going down to Orlando. I mean, it's just a great place to be in November. So.
Right. Yes. Especially now that the hurricanes have passed.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. It's a super exciting time. We booked Orlando as our destination for convention about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We knew that the last time we were in Orlando was for our 50th anniversary. And so we knew that for our 60th, we wanted to make sure that we're going back to a really big destination to really help us celebrate, where everybody could bring their families and attend convention, but also get in some vacation time, some much needed vacation time.
Yeah.
And have some fun too. So yeah, we've been planning Orlando for quite some time, and it's hard to believe that it's almost here.
Yeah, I'm a veteran of 20 KOA conventions in my time. Last year was the first live one that I missed, and it really has a family reunion feel, because you see people that you talk with and you help all year long, and the franchisees are so interactive and so helpful to each other that it really does turn into a family reunion.
It totally does. And, we always have one day where we tell everybody to wear your KOA yellow, because we do one big group photo, but it doesn't matter. They're going to wear their yellow every day anyways, because we're all so proud of the KOA brand. And it's just so cool when we go into a city and you just see yellow everywhere.
Yeah. And so can you tell us a little bit about, so this year's the 60th year. So that's exciting. And can you just tell us a little bit about the theme for this year's conference?
Yeah, so this year's theme is actually going right along with the our overall theme for this year of celebrating our 60th year of the history of KOA. So our theme is "and just getting started." So it's 60 years and just getting started. Because as you know, there's not a lot of brands out there that have the longevity of 60 years like KOA does, and we really see this as just a step in our future. We are forward looking, we're embracing everything in front of us. We're growing. So we're just getting started. And that's really what we're going to be celebrating this year in Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys are doing some really unique things as far as like you guys are shutting down. You're going to be at Universal CityWalk, and then you're also shutting down part of like the Marvel Superhero Island, right? So people can ride rides, I guess, if there's any roller coaster fans.
Yeah, so in fact, we usually call it our opening reception, but we're going so big this year, it's our opening event. So we are going to Universal CityWalk area. There's a section of Universal that's going to be exclusive just for KOA. We'll have 4 different restaurant and bars that we can go into, have food and drinks. One is a piano bar, which I'm sure is going to be packed. Everybody loves a good piano bar. We have a live band karaoke bar that we'll have access to, a coconut club, which is kind of like a tropical theme, and then a Bob Marley reggae environment. So there's 4 different venues for attendees to go and network with each other and kind of have that class reunion, right? So that family reunion. And then we're gonna, after everybody's had their fill of food and drink, we're gonna head on over to Marvel Superhero Island. And again, that's just exclusive for KOA. They're completely shutting down that section of the park for us. We'll get to ride the Hulk roller coaster, which I am not going to partake in. I will safely watch from the ground.
Are you guys gonna let Ben in on that event if he shows up?
You know what? I think we should get him a front seat on the roller coaster for that
I
one.
think so.
So,
They're out there. I want a
and
video.
get it on
man.
video.
I
Yeah.
love roller coasters. So I've ridden the tallest roller coaster, the fast. I mean, I love them. So
There you go.
All right. So
He's
you're
the
gonna
test
have
pilot.
to sneak your little cell phone video on there and post it for everybody to see your horror.
yeah, it'll be excitement. It won't be horror. So, but I love them. But that sounds fantastic. And I mean, experiences like that are something that not very many people get. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a lot of fun for KOA owners.
Yeah,
So,
people, so when we were in Orlando before, we did Universal Harry Potter World.
Mhm.
So again, that was 10 years ago, and people still talk about how much fun they had. So
Yeah.
that was kind of one of the reasons why we wanted to go back to Universal, was just because, I mean, how many events do people talk about for 10 years? So we're going to give them another 10 years to talk about it.
I was there and it was fantastic. So that was a lot of fun. After 60 years, you'd think you would have exhausted just about all the different stuff you could do at a convention. But beyond the fun stuff for that opening night, I know that KOA always brings in a new wrinkle or something different for those franchisees. What's new this year?
Yeah, we have a couple of new things that we're doing this year. One is, a lot of people don't know this yet, but we have a KOA Hot Air Balloon,
yeah,
an actual hot air balloon, and
there it is.
it is amazing. So we are going to, on Monday, which is really our first day of convention, where we open up registration and then we have the welcome event that night. But that morning from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., people can wake up early, go get a cup of coffee and some pastries and watch us inflate and do a static globe with the balloon. So if people haven't had a chance to ever, get up and close to a hot air balloon while it's inflated, then that'll be their time at convention. So it'll be a lot of fun.
And that balloon's has a life after convention, of course, and before. It's out in Albuquerque right now for the National Balloon Festival. These are shots that were just taken this morning from my former partner, Polly Malvena, shipped them over to me so we could see could see Toby and her kids in the basket there as they're going up. But this thing's going to be touring the country well after convention too. The pilot there is also a business development consultant for KOA.
Yeah.
And so he is going to be touring the country, since he's traveling anyway. He's going to be touring the country with that balloon and going to a lot of different events and a lot of different campgrounds, correct?
Yeah, we're so blessed to have Rob. He's an amazing BDC, business development consultant, but then we're able to utilize him and his expertise and his pilot license of flying balloons. So he's a pretty amazing guy.
So training is a big part of whatever a convention is. And I know that KOA spends a lot of time, not just on the staff side, but in the outside world, trying to find the best speakers and the best presentations. So what's on tap for the education part of KOA convention?
Yeah, so we have over 30 workshops this year. So we're super excited about that. It's a little bit more than what we've typically done for workshops. And that's because we're introducing another new thing this year is our vendor sessions. So within our expo hall, we will have 30-minute vendor sessions that our vendor partners can come up and talk about their services and products and in front of our franchisees. So it gives them a little bit more exposure, and then it also gives our franchisees a chance to learn something new or learn about something new that they can sell in their store. So yeah, there'll be a whole stage area set up inside the expo hall. We have a lot of space this year. In fact, our expo just sold out
Wow.
2 days ago. So it's big. I believe we're at 172.
Wow, that's a lot.
172 vendors this year. So it's a very, very large expo.
Yeah, that is a huge expo. Well, we have to take a short break just to welcome our sponsor, Woodall's Campground Magazine, and then we'll be right back. WCM's Park Update is being brought to you by Woodall's Campground Magazine. For over 5 decades, Woodall's Campground Magazine has aimed to provide park owners and operators with the relevant industry news they need to run their businesses more efficiently. As times have changed, so has Woodall's Campground Magazine. Besides just its print publication, which is distributed to more than 14,000 industry professionals every month, the magazine also reaches readers through its various social media platforms, including Facebook at WoodallCM, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Woodall's Campground magazine also offers a daily e-blast which highlights the top news from the industry. The best part, everything we do is advertiser supported and free to our readers. As the outdoor hospitality industry continues to grow at a rapid pace, it is important to stay up to date on trends and other relevant news. Subscribe to Woodall's Campground magazine at woodallscm.com. Welcome back to WCM's Park Update, and we are currently talking with Cameron Humphreys from KOA about the KOA International Convention, and she was just telling us a little bit more about the different types of educational sessions. She had just told us about the expo, 172 vendors, I believe, which is just incredible, and about some of the different things they'll be doing during the expo, like the expo sessions where they'll be talking about different topics and giving vendors an opportunity, I think, to talk about some different topics. And then what else do you guys have on the education front, I guess, that you're pretty excited about?
Yeah, so our keynote speaker this year is a gentleman named Phil Hansen. And Phil, so we actually booked Phil about 2 years ago for this convention, because he is a very top rated speaker, and I've been trying to get him booked for a while, and unfortunately the dates have just never worked out. So 2 years ago we nailed down that date, so we can make sure to make it happen. Phil he's an amazing artist. He was an artist he was in art school, and he developed a tremor in his hand, which was incurable, and he thought his career was over. And so he was pretty depressed, and he was going to his doctor, and his doctor finally told him, you just need to embrace the shake, because he had that tremor he just could not control. So Phil really took that message to heart, that embrace the shake. And so he embraced life and what he could do with his limitation. So his message is just all about looking beyond that limitation, and being limitless. His artwork has morphed into something completely different today that probably wouldn't have had he not gone through this. It's very unique, and he's going to engage our audience with a piece of art where everybody's going to bring out their cell phones and do their own little drawings, and then he's going to take all of that digital work and create a piece that we're going to auction off for care camps.
Well, that's great. Is that part, I know you guys normally have like an artwork piece that you guys auction off. Is that going to be the artwork for this year? Or are you going to have like different artwork pieces, I guess?
Oh, well, I believe Care Camps is having a few different artwork pieces this year. Yeah. Yep. So it'll be one of a few of them. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds great. It's just inspirational to hear, you take something that you're struggling with and then turn it into something like what he's been able to do. So that's great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. So
you
our
said
stage events are, we have our IdeaXchange that we do every year. It's kind of like little TED Talks where they're 6 to 7 minute talks on a particular subject. Our theme this year is workforce development. We know that not just in our industry, but pretty much everywhere, workforce, finding good help has been a struggle. And so we're really going to dedicate that hour of time to workforce development and how we can help our franchisees and help them engage their employees, help them with retention, with onboarding and that offboarding that, sometimes happens, and just do a whole idea exchange around that topic.
I know you have Glenna Heck coming back for that. She's really popular when it comes to employee education and just all things employee related, I guess. Is she going to be doing a separate session, or is she going to be in the IdeaXchange only?
Yeah. No, both. So we love Glenna. She is our she's the highest rated speaker that we've ever had. And in fact, I was like, we got to get Glenna on stage. And so she'll be doing 2 workshops for us on employees and engagement, and then she'll be part of that idea exchange. That so wasn't she a keynote speaker like in 17 or 18? She hasn't been a keynote. She's only done the workshops. She hasn't been on stage yet. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're finally getting her on stage.
Okay.
So you mentioned that the expo sold out. How are the numbers for just participants? How are the campgrounds responding so far?
Yeah, so I mean, we're having a pretty good response. I think what's interesting is last year we were still in that COVID realm. There was talks early on, are we moving forward with convention? What is our attendance going to look like? Is there going to be a mask mandate? Is there not? So it's really good that we're kind of considering we're back to a normal convention. People are traveling again, so we're definitely seeing our registration numbers a lot higher than they were last year.
Yep.
So yeah, we expect probably around 850.
Wow, what's
Yeah,
the most you've ever had at a convention? Do you know that? Or
I do. It was 832 in Savannah in 2019.
that was a great convention.
So we're pushing to hopefully beat Savannah numbers. Yeah.
So
Everybody
I
loves
always
the Savannah convention. Mhm.
I always try and sneak this in too, but so if you got a lot of new faces, there are a lot of new owners that are coming into the system now. So if they haven't made their if they've missed all your emails and they've missed all the eCamp postings and everything else, at this point, what's the best way for them to get signed up and get into the convention?
Yeah, so registration is still open. It'll be open through October 31st. We try to give our final counts and all of our tickets and meal counts and all of that that first week of November. So they can go on eCamp, their intranet site, and register for convention that way, or they can give us a call and we can help them out with that. But kids camp, if anybody is looking to get into our kids camp, which we have from 0 to 12 years old, we have a lot of fun things planned for the kids camp this year. That registration is closing this week. So anybody that's still needing to register for kids camp has got to do so ASAP.
There you go, Ben.
Got some really fun things planned. They're going to Gatorland. If you're in Florida, they got to go to Gatorland.
I like roller coasters and gators. So maybe I should maybe I should go with the kids to Gatorland.
Sign them. Hey, it's been done. It's been done by vendors before. So
I mean, it just sounds like a great convention. It sounds like it's going to be a blast. I imagine you guys are going to be now. Care Camps has their own event too, right? That they're going to be hosting. And
yeah,
do you
the
know
Owners Association.
Yeah.
So the Owners Association and Care Camps do an event, and that'll happen on Tuesday night. They're going to a place called Deezerland, which is like a family amusement park. They've got go-karts and bowling, a whole bunch of fun things like that.
And you already mentioned the kids camp. Do you expect like a ton of families this year?
Yes.
Maybe more than years past?
Yeah, so typically even just, for kids camp, we have about 25 kids.
Yeah.
We've already doubled that. So I believe I want to say we're like at 54, 55 kids this year for kids camp. So
that's a lot. And then you guys always do the awards. You're going to be handing out presidents, founders, your rising star, all that stuff. Has any of that changed, or is it going to be pretty similar to other conventions?
Yeah, it'll be similar to other conventions. We recognize our partners, our 10, 20, 30, and 40-year partners this year. And then our presidents, founders, and Campground of the Year and Rising Star.
Yep. Yeah. And then you guys always do a fantastic job of having like Toby, Whitney, Daryl Usselman. Maybe you, Kama, maybe you'll get up on stage this year and do the company updates and everything. And I imagine it's been a pretty positive year for the system as a whole. So
yeah, our senior leadership team will take to the stage on that Tuesday morning, really get things started, kick things off. Toby will start things. Ann Emerson, our COO of KOA franchise, and of course Whitney Scott with our marketing department. And so they're making their plans now on what that general session looks like. And again, that'll carry the message of it's been 60 years and we're just getting started, and really our future is limitless.
Yeah, I mean, it's always easier to do those kind of speeches too when you're having the kind of years that KOA's been having. So
makes it a little bit easier, right?
Yeah. When you have those down years, it's always like, oh, I don't know if I want to get on stage. So
yeah, it's a good time to be part of the industry, that's for sure.
Well, Cameron, you mentioned that you're kind of busy this week because you've also got a KOA University going on there in Billings. How many folks you got there? And again, this is something that the new owners and new managers get to come in and really take the deep dive into KOA. And so how many folks you have there now this week?
Yes, so we have 10 campgrounds, so 15 people from 10 campgrounds that are here right now. In fact, they're learning about, I believe they're on a tour right now of graphic imprints where we do our uniforms. But they come to Billings for a week And really KOAU is an orientation for new owners, give them kind of a high level view of all of the tools and resources and things that we offer to help them be successful campground owners. And we also just launched last week our new manager school. So we had 14 students here of campground managers who are somewhat new to a manager role, here to really kind of deep dive into some more education opportunities. We took them to the Billings KOA. We did like a site analysis and grading, took them through that whole process. We did a risk analysis, helped them identify problems that could happen. We talked about local marketing and budgeting. So yeah, they had a great time last week for the managers, and then now this week with our owners, with our new owners.
That manager school is a huge benefit for all these new campground owners that we've got that aren't managing their own places, and they're desperately looking for qualified managers. So I think KOA's got a great service going on there to educate people just for the industry.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, well, I think that's about everything, unless Mike had anything else he wanted to drill you on.
Oh, I could talk to Kama all day long, but I know she's
You don't want to do that.
We do tough interviews, so we're gonna start doing like the hard hitting, like Washington Post style interviews here pretty soon on people. But we'll keep it pretty soft for you, Kama. So
thank you, I appreciate it.
But thank you for talking with us about the conference. I'm really excited about going. And I'm excited about seeing all the KOA owners. So it's always great to see everyone wearing yellow. So
and don't let Ben eat too much of that crappy food at the amusement parks, because we don't need him sick.
Right? I know.
Self-control, Ben.
We're gonna feed them, and opening night, and then give them drinks, and then put them on the Hulk roller coaster. So we'll see how that goes.
I've never drank before I went on a roller coaster,
There you
so
go.
that should be pretty different for me. So we'll give that a try. But thank you, Kama, for coming on the show, and thanks everyone for watching. And everyone have a great rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to WCM's Park Update, a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine. Join us for a new show each Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn for daily news and updates, and subscribe to our news feed on our website at woodallscm.com. Show hosts are Ben Quiggle and Mike Gast. Executive producers Rick Kessler and Alex Burkett. Copyright 2022, G&G Media Group.